Hello, Dog TV Pack. Joe Myers here, back with another Dog TV Chats, and I'm incredibly excited to talk about our subject at hand. But I want to take a few brief moments to honor a member of the dog community, Marika Meeks. Marika lost her battle with cancer on June 25th, a few short days ago, and she will be sorely missed. She was a rescue advocate. She was our Dog TV's Dog Mom of the Year last year, a friend, a dog mom, a family member, and she will be forever missed. Marika and family, we love you. Dog TV loves you, and we are here for you. And Marika, incredible Stella, thank you for all you did for the animal community, for advocating for pit bulls, for rescuing dogs, and for being a face and a light in our industry. You'll be forever missed. And I want to. Today we're talking about a very important topic and something I know that was close to everyone's heart during this time of year, which is fireworks and dogs. These big guys launching in the air and scaring your fur family members. And I want to welcome a very special guest today, somebody who you'll be seeing a lot on the Dog TV channel. Please welcome my very special guest today, Laura Nativo. She's a dog trainer, founder of Nativo Pet Company, TV personality, been seen on the Today Show. Welcome, Laura.
Hi, Joe. Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here today talking about fireworks safety. And I just want to send my love to Marika's family, to Brian, her two beautiful daughters. Everyone in the pet community is just at a loss for having to say goodbye to Marika. She was a shining light. She was an advocate for rescue. I had the pleasure of, in October, I actually had the opportunity to work with her and Stella on my TV show Dog Masters. And she's incredible. I lost my mom to breast cancer when I was 6. So her daughters and I share a very special connection in that way. And I know all of us will miss her, and I know her daughters are going to continue on the unbelievable work that she does for rescue dogs. So sending my love to Carly and her sister, and thank you for honoring her today. I know that as a pit bull mom, as a pit bull advocate and a rescue advocate, I know that Marika would be so glad that we're here trying to help empower people to keep their pets safe for the 4th of July. So it's a good topic.
Very much so. I had the honor as well, and it's always she was always a shining light, and she certainly will be missed. But you're absolutely right. It was a passion of her of giving dog parents the tools to keep their dogs safe. And today we're talking about fireworks. If these are actual fireworks I can buy, launching in the air, you might be noticing these, but they're all over the place. And will be more. Laura, maybe start at the beginning. I know you were sort of doing some research into what fireworks might be this year, and then we can talk about preparing our dogs for the fireworks.
Yes, so I think this year is going to be interesting. I mean, we have all been facing the most odd, strange circumstances in our world. And as much as we'd like to think as pet parents that because of the quarantine and the stay-at-home orders that there would be less, we're actually hearing that there's going to be more fireworks. Although a lot of the big major city displays have been canceled, unfortunately, a lot of people are still, like you said, you can go, I've been seeing, I'm driving around the country, and there's just stands and parking lots with fireworks. And even though they are illegal in many cities, people have been bursting illegal fireworks for weeks. And, our dogs can hear, we can only hear 1/3 of the capacity. Dogs can hear up to 60,000 hertz. We only hear up to 20,000. So there is like a whole spectrum of sound that we're not even aware of. And think about how loud they are to us. Fireworks are one of the most terrifying things to dogs all around the world. In fact, the day after the 4th of July, the day after the biggest displays, usually when the shelters are seeing more dogs come in than ever. And statistics show that 1 in 5 dogs who go missing is a result of some type of sound. So whether it's fireworks, thunders, rainstorms, it's just, we have to be so cognizant. And I'm really happy to be here today to talk about some of the things that we can do at home to actually really help alleviate this stress and make our home environments so much more safe and comfortable for our animals.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that background. Such an important time. Something we never want to see happen. Our dogs running away during at all, but especially during this season. And we're going to start off with some tips and tricks. So I'll have you start off. I have my dog, Mickey. He's here. There he is. He's a little beagle rescue. And I know you have some special friends as well that we're going to do some actual real life tips and tricks. And if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook and you have any questions about the tips or about your particular dog, add them in the comments. We'll try to get to as many as we can.
Yay, thank you so much. I already see some chats coming in. We have the Jabuki in Northeast USA. Type in the comments where you're coming in from and what you've been hearing. Are you already hearing fireworks in your neighborhood? I also have a special guest today because I want to show you what it's like to do this training with a dog like Mickey, who I've never worked with. And I have the queen. This is Sophie.
Hi, Sophie.
This dog, and it's her birthday. She's turning 7 today, so she was willing to, dedicate her time to helping the cause, and she's going to help us with some of the training today.
Thank you, Sophie. Awesome. I'll have you start off with your dogs on that side, and then we'll transition over here.
Perfect. Do you want to jump into the training first, or do you want to talk about some of the other things to set up your home environment first?
Let's start up let's set up the home first, and then we can jump into some of the training.
Perfect. Okay. So I want to just say, first off, one of the most important things to do is think about your home environment and how can we make our home environment more calm, more relaxing, more safe. I know with Dog TV that you guys are offering all sorts of programming that has nice, quiet, calm music and calm sounds. So first, and this is really leading up to the 4th of July, think about your home space. Where is the room in your house where the sound is the most muffled? So maybe it's the basement, maybe it's a bedroom, maybe it's a bathroom. Think about the areas in your home that are away from windows and away from as much sound as possible. So I would think about, okay, where's the best place in my house? Maybe it's the living room, maybe it's the bedroom. How can I create a safe space?
Smart.
So
right there.
Think about your dog's bed, perhaps their crate, perhaps their X-pen, wherever they are the most comfortable. When dogs hear these loud noises, they have a tendency to just panic and want to flee. And you'll find a lot of dogs, they'll either freeze or maybe they'll run underneath a bed. A lot of dogs will run into a bathtub. So if there's a location in your house where your dog has ran whenever they've been frightened before, think about like maybe it is under the bed or maybe it is in the bathtub. Think about maybe putting a dog bed and putting some enrichment, some really delicious food there so that they do have a safe place to run to. So that's step one. Then we want to think about creating white noise. So we have our dog TV. That's a really good step. Dogs are also known, scientific studies have shown us that they really like classical music, reggae. Think about like what you play. If you're somebody who maybe you listen to a lot of old school hip hop, like anything that's really familiar and usual, that's what you want to play, but maybe at a slightly louder volume so that it helps to drown out some of the sounds. And then think about ways to kind of fill in the gaps. So what are some common sounds from around your house? Maybe it's running the dishwasher. Maybe it's the washer dryer. Maybe, it's a fan, or if you have an air conditioner. But think about creating as many sounds in the environment that are normal and natural and comforting so that then, you can take your dogs, and I'm going to bring little Sophie over here because I want to keep the dogs quiet while we do our Facebook Live. And the night before the 4th of July or the night before, really you could actually do this now. You could start meal prepping I like to make a lot of delicious frozen enrichment.
Ooh, perfect.
I've got a big Kong, I got a tiny Kong. I'm filling it with yogurt and my Num Nums. And this is a really fun one. This costs like $1. We've got a salmon skin chill and chew, some Num Nums and yogurt, and I actually cored an apple. And so the nice thing, it's completely safe. There's no parts for them to ingest. So Delilah Jane, do you want this? Come check this out.
I think I want that. Minus the Num Nums. If you're watching this, add in the comments where your dog's safe places. Maybe it's a bedroom, maybe it's a bathroom. Add them in the comments so we can maybe get some other advice from other pet parents.
There you go. So you're going to see Delilah's just going to come down here and she's gonna start enjoying her apple. And then I'm gonna bring little Sophie. Sophie, do you wanna come next to her? And maybe I'll put Sophie. I don't know if you can see her. There we go. So I got little Sophie's down here, and Sophie's gonna start chewing on the Kong.
Oh, perfect.
Just gonna wipe off my hands. But having things like this on hand. Oh, I love the Jabugi says my dog loves frozen green peppers.
Yeah, we are a brilliant idea on the apple as well. A couple of people are very, very impressed.
Thank you. So yeah, so think about like, what do my dogs love? Anything like this, licking actually helps to promote relaxation. So creating enrichment food that is going to last longer and create duration. And then putting it in your safe space. So maybe you've got a freezer, you can take all of your like salmon stuffed apples, put 10 of them in the freezer, and then anytime you notice that there's sound starting to come out in the environment, if neighbors are starting to set off fireworks, then you can go to the freezer, take it, bring it to your dog's safe space. And now is when you turn on your fan, your air conditioner, your music, you make sure that there's other sounds, and you give them something to do that's like, you know, really calm and relaxing. And hopefully we're gonna have the kids just sitting through our Zoom today quietly.
I love that, having it on hand and being proactive instead of reactive. Instead of you hear the fireworks on, you know they're going to happen between, you know, probably have already happened in your neighborhood potentially, especially if you live near me. And through the 4th, probably on the 5th, maybe even on the 6th, and continuing on. I know some states you can do it for 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after the 4th. So certainly certainly an important thing to be proactive with preparing that stuff.
Yeah, and Jen has another really good tip. She said, my 7-month-old pup loves his crate in frozen stuffed Kongs or frozen stuffed raw marrow bones. Raw marrow bones are another really healthy, delicious, high-value snack. So think about like, what are the treats that your dogs go crazy for? And how can I make them last longer by freezing them and having them on hand? So
perfect. Thank you, Jen, for sharing that. Chris, Lisa, Becky, Hannah, the whole team in there. Awesome. So now we have prepared. We have that location. We have, you know, this is Dog TV, so I'm going to say there's Dog TV on the TV. Definitely. There's a code down below, so use that code for 30 days. You have your food in the freezer, and what is some training now? Maybe we can step into some of the training exercises. Should we get into training mode?
Sure. Yeah. Let me just give one last tip. So 4th of July is a time where, you know, normally we walk our dogs and we have the comfort of whether we walk them in the morning or in the evening. You know, it's just like a relaxed walk around the neighborhood. 4th of July is a time where we don't really know when people are going to start setting them off. So I want to talk about just safety. If you do have to be outside of the home for any amount of time, even if it's just a quick little potty break, make sure that your dog is wearing their collar with ID tag. Make sure that that tag has current information and that their microchip is up to date with your most recent phone number and address, because heaven forbid something happens and they escape or they go missing, you want to make sure that they have identification. So that's critical if you do go outside. But I like to say, you know, maybe think about doing their evening walk a little bit earlier than normal. If you have a yard, make sure that it is completely gated, secured, that you have a lock, that there's no holes in the fence where they can escape through. And I would not leave them, if you have a yard that's normally safe enough to maybe leave them outside for extended periods of time, 4th of July and the 2 weeks like leading up to it is not the time to leave your dogs unsupervised. So think about maybe changing your lifestyle setup so that your dogs are inside in a safe place. And if you do have windows, like you can even think about putting either curtains, blackout curtains, or even taking like a pillow and just to kind of pad some of the acoustics. So
smart. No, that makes a lot of sense. I know sometimes people just like let their dog outside and it's usually fine, but during this season, somebody could light a firework off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and you're chasing down your furry best friend. So a good tip.
And my friend Christine in the comments has to go one step further. Keep a leash on your dog. Even if you normally would let your dog roam free in the backyard, think about keeping a leash on. And what I like to do just for extra safety around the 4th of July is maybe you have your dog in a harness and you've got one leash clipped to the back harness and one to the front. So if you do have to walk them, if you don't have the luxury of a yard and you have to take them for a potty walk, having them double leash, maybe even with like one of those waist hooks so that you can attach the leash to your body so that if they get scared and they go to bolt and you fall and drop a leash, they are attached to you in every way. So I feel like 4th of July is the time where even if you have a dog like my Delilah, who has normally reacted well and who has gone through this training, you can never be too careful. Our dogs are our family. And so please like take the time to take the extra precautions to make sure that they are safe.
That's a perfect way of starting that as well. And thank you, Victoria Jones, for sharing the code. She's absolutely right. 4th of July 2020 at dogtv.com. A free month, risk-free. You can stream it everywhere. If you've ever watched anything on TV before, you can stream Dog TV on there. Awesome. So now we talked about the home. We talked about outside the home, walking etiquette. So what's next, Laura?
So now I think we can jump into some training. If you want to let Mickey shine, I would love.
Oh, he would love it. He's named after a famous character, and hopefully he'll be good on TV and screen.
Nice. So I asked Joe to prepare before our session today. I said, get some of Mickey's favorite treats. My dogs, they absolutely love their num-nums. So I've got a bag of num-nums here that's ready. And have some noisemakers. Now, this type of training is something that we really want to do months before the 4th of July. We want to slowly start to desensitize our dogs to the sounds of fireworks and do it in a safe way where they're staying under threshold and their body language is comfortable and they're able to eat treats. We don't want to what we call flood them, which is where we're putting so many loud sounds at once and their reaction is something that they're more worried or scared or anxious. So what we want to do is think about creating sounds at a very, very low, quiet level, pairing those with something really delicious like treats or really fun like their favorite game. And then slowly as time goes on, making those sounds louder and more reminiscent to the actual fireworks leading up to the days before 4th of July. So you've got Mickey back there. I'm going to just readjust my little setup here so I can scooch back.
I also have Mickey right here, too. There's double Mickeys. It's a double Mickey.
Oh,
hidden Mickeys if you're playing at home.
That's awesome. All right. So that's there. And then I'm
some
sounds from over here. Okay. So if anybody is joining us, you're welcome to, from wherever you are at home, go run to the kitchen, grab some of your dog's favorite training treats. And I have a little frying pan. I have an ice cream spoon. And then I also have some bubble wrap, which is, just any of your shipping boxes. We like to upcycle and not waste. And I have a pillow. So I'm going to kind of show you in order how we start this. So very beginning, let me go grab Sophie. Sophie's never done this. Hey, So I'm going to take something really light and soft like a pillow, which hopefully is not going to be scary. And can you see her? Okay, so down just a little bit. Okay, so you can see little Sophie. She's wagging her tail. If you can see her little bottom. Now she's sitting pretty. You're amazing. Come here, Sophie. Come here, Sophie. Sit pretty. I can see your face. You ready? Ready, Sophie? Sit pretty. Oh, she's doing it. I gotta frame her better. Okay, we'll get that later. So I got my num-nums. I have a handful of treats, and I'm gonna basically think about New Year's Eve when or at a surprise party and you're just surprised and you're throwing confetti everywhere. I'm gonna be doing that with my treats because we want the dogs to start having a better association to loud sounds. So the idea is tone equals treat. So Delilah, can you come over here?
I love it.
Let's start out with something really easy like a pillow. And hopefully you can see Sophie's reaction.
I'm gonna move my camera down so you can see me. There we go. Perfect.
Awesome. So you can see.
Throw it in the air.
Yeah. So the dogs, for that sound, they weren't scared. They're able to come and eat.
Woo!
That wasn't too much.
Woo!
What are you throwing over there?
Some treats.
Cool. Look at that. Well, what do you got? You've got the Tough Mudder bandana.
Oh, yeah, I got the bandana.
Okay, so the order is you're going to make the sound, and then you're going to mark it with either a yes, or if you were clicker training, and then you're going to kind of toss the treats. So let's see how Mickey does.
Yay! Yes, good boy.
Awesome. And you can actually take them and scatter them on like on the little bed that's down there.
Oh, perfect. Ready? Yay! Yes. Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So now what do you see in Mickey's body language?
His tail is wagging. He's interested in the treats. He's excited.
All right. So
Yeah, he's looking for more.
That's good. So that's what you want to look for in the training, is you want to make sure that you're just slowly making the sounds louder and louder so that your dog is enjoying the process. And that's how we're going to start building this. So now I'm going to try something a little bit louder. Now I've got my bubble wrap. Okay. Now I've never done this with Sophie before. So let's see how she does. Right now she's ignoring me. Oh, you can see me. So she's ignoring me. I'm going to go take a handful of my treats. And I want you to watch her reaction when I get ready to pop this. Let's see how she does. Yay! Oh my goodness! That was exciting.
I love that.
Very good.
I'm gonna try with the bandana and the pie tin. Ready?
Perfect.
Yay! That was a little loud for him. I think I went a little loud. Okay, he's still into it. He's still into it. Let's get some more treats. Oh, find the treat location. Okay, Mickey. Okay. We got I went a little too loud on that one.
That was good. So now you noticed his reaction was, it was a little more startled. So
a little more, yep.
Next one, let's go a little softer on the sounds.
A little softer, yep.
And we'll see how he does.
Yay! Oh, that was better.
Good boy.
That's a good boy.
Good boy.
That's a good boy.
And so when you're doing these training sessions, what you want to think about is making sure that your dog is enjoying the entire experience. So take the time to do multiple training sessions throughout the day. Keep your training sessions short and always end them on a positive note. You don't want to push your dog too far and then finish, and your dog, the next time you go to train, your dog is worried and not looking forward to it. So with Mickey, I might throw the little muffin or the baking tin away, and let's just go back to the orange bandana.
Perfect.
And just do that for like one more, and then we can take a break.
Sit. Sit. That's a good boy. Yay! Yay! Good boy.
Good job.
Good boy. Now he's back to it. Feels a little down, but he's he was very skittish before. I think I actually hit the pie tin with my thumb and caused the
And that's sometimes what happens is, you're trying to, it's a very fine line between desensitizing and actually sensitizing them to these sounds, and we want to try to keep it as positive as possible. So going really, really slow, and if you can, right now it's very tricky in a Zoom to like try to be engaged with one another and then also working with our dogs with sounds. Sometimes it helps if you can get a friend or a family member to actually make the sound at a little bit of a distance. If you have a very fearful dog, maybe that sound is being made in another room. Maybe it's across the living room. So that way it's not really close to their heads, because you have to think dogs have such sensitive ears. Their sense of hearing is so much greater than ours. And 4th of July, they say that the fireworks can reach 190 decibels, which is, I think gunshots are like 140, a jet plane is 100. Like, these fireworks are so loud, and as loud as they are to us, they're that much worse for our dogs. So one thing you can do in the days leading up to the fireworks is go onto YouTube And if you do a little search, I'll put it in the comments below at the end of the live. You can do a search for firework sounds. You can practice playing those sounds at a very low volume and doing this training. And then you can gradually raise the sounds louder and louder.
Yep. And I like keeping the training sessions short as well, and then sort of build and build and build. And eventually, hopefully, they're moving forward. And Ryan says it perfect, slow baby steps.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Ryan. Ryan is another fabulous trainer. And it's just really important that we keep this entire process positive. So think about, how can I create sounds? The other thing you can do in addition to the fireworks videos is think of like the old country Western movies or action movies that have a lot of fire and gunshots and things like that. You can not only use delicious enrichment feeders and your dog's favorite treats, but this is where you bring in your snuffle mat. This is where if your dog really likes to play games, whether that's fetch or tug or maybe a flirt pole, maybe ball, you can also pair your dog's favorite game with these sounds. So depending on what motivates your dog, there are some dogs that are more food motivated, some that are more play motivated, and mix it up. So no matter what's happening, every time you randomly hear a sound, yay, get excited. Other thing you can do is around your house, you can have little containers, mason jars, or some type of cookie jars that you can keep treats in rooms throughout your house, so that if there's a sound unexpectedly, you can get excited, mark that sound, and then go and drop some treats, so that even though you're not technically in a training session, you're still pairing that loud sound with something positive.
Jennifer shared thank you, Jennifer, for sharing this story about her dog. A mellow dog once dug a hole in the wall because it was so bad. Because he found out, before I found out, anxiety towards them. So it's certainly preventative, but you just don't know what your dog will experience during this time, especially for those people who have just adopted a dog. This might be your first year. There's a lot of people. I was at the park the other day and saw a ton more dogs. And everyone I asked, we adopt them during this time. We adopt them during this time. So those dogs especially start now, start as soon as possible, and build up, Laura. And I know we have you're an incredible trainer and a ton to do. Let's maybe one more piece of tip or a trick or maybe some words of wisdom stepping into the 4th of July season.
Sure, thank you. So I think the last tip, and there are so many tips. I actually created a free ebook, so I will drop them on the Dog TV Facebook page, so that if you have a guide, we can kind of give you a step-by-step guide to preparing for the 4th of July. But one of my last tips is the days leading up to the 4th of July, and especially on the 4th of July or whenever that big display is happening near you, really make sure that your dog has a full day of stimulation, mental exercise, physical exercise. Wake up really early that day and go take your dog on the most epic hike, or take your dog on a run, or go for a swim. Do something that is really fun and physically and mentally exhausting. Make sure that it's within limits, and think about your dog's age, breed. I mean, I saw an awful tip. Somebody was like, take your dog on a 7-hour run. I was like, no. Make sure that you are being mindful of your dog's limits and body language. But give your dog a really full day. And you can also do some training, some fun trick training, so that by the time 4 or 5 o'clock comes along and the fireworks start happening, your dog is so tired that it's a lot easier for them to tune out the sounds.
I love it. That's a perfect tip. I think we can all do that. And maybe you're watching this on the 4th of July, you Googled it, and you're like, I don't have a week, I don't have 4 days. But go take a breed-specific, dog-specific walk, go play ball, get enrichment. Well, thank you so much, Laura, for these tips and tricks and for your ebook and resources. And we're proud to announce that Laura is going to be really close with the Dog TV team, submitting blogs, and she'll be on our Facebook Live once a month. We're so excited to have you, Laura. Always a pleasure. And I'm excited for our next Facebook Live when you're in another location. Laura's always in a different location.
Waldo.
She's literally.
To all of the Dog TV family, if you have any questions, if you're watching this maybe in the replay, feel free to drop your questions below. There's so much information related to fireworks desensitization training. I actually did a great training video with Embrace Pet Insurance. I'm going to drop all of that. And if there's something we've missed or if you need clarification, please go ahead and drop your questions in the comments. And myself, and there's other trainers, Christine Young, Ryan, there's other trainers who are in this chat as well. And we're all going to come in with as many links and support because we want your dogs to be safe. We want them to be comfortable. And we are so grateful for you taking the time to invest in helping to prepare your pet. So thank you all for being here and watching us today.
Very much so. We're all looking forward to that 4th of July where no dog is lost.
Yes.
And we can get there together. Well, thank you all so much. We'll be back with another Facebook Live in the coming weeks. Maybe another vet versus vet. Maybe some more time with Laura. But keep in tune. Make sure you like Dog TV on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter for the latest information. And if you haven't tried out Dog TV yet, head over to dogtv.com and use the code 4th of July 2020. It'd be a gift for your dog and hopefully for you as well. Well, thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you all the trainers. Thank you for everybody for sharing their stories, and we'll see you back here shortly. Bye, everybody.